Love and Hip Hop Miami, episode 5. So we see Brooke and Marcus in the studio making music, and Amara comes in and basically asks them, are you guys worried about how this is going to affect the baby because Brooke is pregnant again? Marcus said he is a little worried about it because Brooke has a history of complications. When she gave birth the first time, she passed out and she lost a record amount of blood. But music is therapeutic for her, and he feels like she should be able to balance it, especially because it's a project that they're working on together. So Brooke randomly announces how she invited Shay and Fabo for Marcus to try to talk to them because, he's Dr. Black now. And he did used to be a cheater. He used to be having Brooke going through it, but he got his stuff together. So I guess now she feel like he could help other men. And he does like to do it, but he was like, who told you I was going to be able to help Shay? Like, how you just putting me up to stuff? So Brooke was like, come on, Marcus, you got to do it. This is going to really put you to the test. And Shay and Fabo have a kid, so just think about the kid. So he basically agreed. And Amara was like, well, I hope you know that there was rumors going around that Fabo might have gotten Zoe's sister pregnant. So you walking into a lot of drama. So Amara tells Brooke about everything that's been going on with her and Marlon and how they're forming this friendship. And he's supposed to be teaching Amara how to swim. So Brooke is like, so first he went from the guy that fixes houses, now he fixes cars, and now he's a lifeguard / swimming instructor. Looks like Marlon is just trying to find any way to be around you and you going for it. And Amara basically said, well, I didn't really expect it to go far. I was just doing it for revenge, but I am really becoming friends with Marlon. Like, I do like him. He's there for me, even though he is my enemy's husband. And Brooke was like, well, if Flo even knew that y'all was in the same place, she would be pissed off. And Amara was like, well, she better just be happy that I'm not really crossing the line, because if I wanted to, I could be effing Marlon right now. Which is true, but what y'all doing is still weird and messy regardless. So Trick made breakfast for his son and nieces and invited them to the table. And he was asking his nieces, like, why did Derek tell me I was distracted in the studio the other day? I'm sticking my neck out there for y'all to try to get y'all out there. And it seemed like y'all not taking it serious. Like, what was so important that y'all had to be talking about during the session? So the other twin basically was like, Deja was talking about stuff she had no business to be talking about when we here trying to change our lives. But she didn't go into detail and say, like, she was talking about your son and how they messing around. But the son is sitting right there. So it's real awkward. And I'm like, Trick, read the room. So now we see messy ass Hot Topic popping up to Trick house, and she's talking about she's surprised because she got an invitation to Trina and Swerve's wedding celebration. So Hot Topic asked Trick if he was invited, and he said he was invited. And she asked him what he was wearing, and he was like, I don't know, I got to see what my date is wearing. So he planning to bring the So Unique girl that he reconnecting with. And then Hot Topic was like, I didn't even get directly invited through Trina. I got invited by Joy. And Trick was like, he kind of surprised that he's invited because he went off on Trina and Joy so bad when they did that live orchestra performance and Trina was late and stuff. But he was like, I would never let the friendship of a lifetime, be broken over the fact that I don't like her boyfriend or her husband. And it's affecting how she moves with business. At the end of the day, she's still my friend. So Hot Topic was like, well, when the blogs put out their marriage certificate, there was a lady in the comments talking about Swerve was a deadbeat baby dad. So I reached out to the girl. And, the lady said that they had a kid 2 years ago. She can't get him for child support. He's stalking Trina at a hot dog stand. Everything that we already heard. So Trick was like, well, how is him having a 2-year-old messy? You don't even know if that's actually his baby. You don't know if this girl is just mad and bitter because he knocked her down and now he don't want to be with her. And then the biggest thing for Trick was like, okay, well, they married now, which means if she come for Swerve for child support and he don't got no money, they going to go after Trina money. So is she trying to go after Trina bag? Like, what's going on? So we see the twins, Asia and Deja again, and Asia is basically asking Deja, like, what are you going to do with this whole situation with Trick's son? She talking about how she want to bring Trick's son with her to Big D party. I mean, he was going regardless, but basically, like, she want them to go together. Like, he would basically be her date, which would mean that they're going public. And Asia was like, girl, what are you talking about? You don't need to be messing with him, period, and you're never going public with him. Like, that's our play cousin. It's too many connections with Trick and us trying to do business. Like, that's messy. So the messy twin Deja got mad and told Asia she was stupid. No, you stupid because you dating your play cousin. Hot Topic also told Trick how Bobby is the one who brought her all of this information from the beginning with the email and everything. But now that the information is out there and she's investigating it, he's MIA. He's acting like he wasn't doing that. And like he's so team Trina and Swerve now. And then he's not even going to the wedding reception because he's out of town. So it's like you started all of this mess, acted like you didn't, and now you disappeared. And Trick warned Hot Topic, don't go to Trina wedding celebration with that messy shit, because when it hit the fan, it's going to be everywhere, and none of us going to be able to help you when Trina get on that ass, basically. So we see Zoe with her sister Bianca, and she's basically saying that she feels like Bianca is really going through it, and that the whole situation of her lying about that pregnancy with Fabo, Shay's boyfriend, was like a cry for help and a cry for attention. So she's going to try to be there for her more, get her outside more, not have her be so isolated, and really try to be a positive influence on her. Her sister asked her how she felt about the proposal, and she said she's excited because she been wanting him to do that since they was together for like 3 months. Like, she wanted him to get married, get down on one knee, give her a speech like that in front of everybody. So she was happy with the moment, but she was like, I didn't forget where we was at right before that moment. Like, me and him need a lot of help. We was clashing bad. We could barely stand to live together. So now we talking about getting married. We can't just forget about everything that happened before and the way we were interacting with each other before. So Zoe and her sister end up meeting with a couple of other friends that Zoe has. She said she's made a few new friends. She's opening up her circle. And she thought that they were taking her to a spa day, but it was actually a surprise for them to go to like a bride-to-be place for her to try on dresses and stuff like that. Estelita is there as well. She said she's been busy, but she had to pop out to support Zoe because that's her girl. So one of Zoe's friends that's there, her name is Kiki, and she's very loud. Zoe said that Kiki is one of her new friends. She was her dancer for the Brinks dolls, which basically means that she was her employee. So that's similar to mixing business with pleasure, mixing business with friendship. I don't think it's a good idea to do that either. Because somebody who you were the boss of and now you're trying to be their friend, I don't think that's going to work. But she said that Kiki likes a lot of attention, but she still feels like Kiki is a good friend and somebody who she could tell her personal information to. So as they wait for Zoe to go try on her first dress, Bianca and Estelita were talking, and Bianca mentioned something about how she might end up walking down the aisle at Zoe's wedding with Fabian and was laughing. And Estelita was like, girl, please. And in her confessional, she was like, I heard about everything with Bianca and Shay and Fabian, and I just feel like Bianca was really tripping and looking for attention, and I'm so disappointed in her, but I don't feel bad for Shay at all. She got exactly what she deserved because she's still with Fable after all this time, and he keeps cheating on her. Like, girl, wake up. And then obviously y'all know Estelita don't got no sympathy for Shay because Shay told her to go suck her daddy's D. So after Zoe tried on a few dresses, they asked her how she felt about everything. And she was like, I'm happy he proposed, but right before he proposed, we were literally in the process of separating, moving out, and everything else. And Estelita was like, well, clearly he's serious about wanting to save your relationship and making it work. And Zoe was like, I agree. And Estelita also told her, and you love him and you believe he loves you. So, no relationship is perfect. And Estelita was like, well, you already know the main thing that you got to do because we already talked about it. You got to break off the whole business and relationship. He can't be a manager for too much longer. So then her dancer friend Kiki, the loud one who likes attention, decides to jump up and say, oh, well, I don't think Kelvin is the one. And I feel like you should marry somebody else. So Zoe got defensive and Zoe was like, girl, you're not even in a relationship yourself. So how you going to tell me who I should be with? Then Kiki decides to put out Zoe's business to everybody else sitting there and say, I think you should talk to the dyke. So apparently Zoe must have talked to a stud before, or there's a stud who wants to talk to her, whatever. But you're putting that out in front of everybody sitting here, and you know that you're being filmed. And Zoe was like, I've never hidden the fact that I was bisexual, but don't try to put nothing out there as if I'm cheating on Kelvin and you really being messy and you an instigator because I don't even know who you talking about. Like, what stud are you referring to? So Estelita peeped it and she was like, Kiki is really messy. Like, what kind of friend is she? And Zoe kind of was like, you know what? I'm going to deal with you later because you really being messy. And she walked away to go put on another dress. And Kiki kind of was just like, I said what I said and we could talk about it later. So the scene ends there. And now we're at the pool where Amara and Marlon are meeting up so he could give her this swimming lesson. So Amara says she's terrified of the water, but because her new house has a pool, she says it's time for her to learn. Marlon was like, oh, it's nice to see you. She had on this like one piece and he called her a sexy shark hunter. And she said, well, I didn't want you to get the wrong idea. So I covered up as much as I can. Like, she didn't wear a bikini. So she wore the little bodysuit, the swimsuit. So when they get in the water, Amara's like, what's the first step? He talking about, I'm going to teach you the Haitian way. You got to wrap your legs around my waist and then let go and try to float on your own. You could get on my back and ride me. Like, stop playing. Amara, I hope you could fight. Because we already saw the preview, and I know Princess going to end up slapping you at some point this season. It looked like Flo going to probably slap you too. Like, what's going on? Now, I will say I found out some stuff I didn't know about Amara from this scene. She said that she doesn't know how to ride a bike. She doesn't know how to skate. She doesn't know how to swim. A lot of things that people will learn when they're a kid because she's been on TV since she was 4 years old. There's a show on Telemundo or Univision called Sabato Gigante, which basically means Gigantic Saturday. So I guess it comes on every Saturday, and it's like a big variety or music show. And Amara was on there as a kid, and the show has been on for at least 50 years, and she was the only Black cast member ever. So that's actually pretty iconic, and it does make sense why she really says she doesn't have as much memories of doing stuff that most kids did when they were children. Marlon told Amara that he had fun too. It was kind of a flashback to him being in the pool with his kids, something that he hasn't done in a while. In her confessional, Amara said that she's not attracted to Marlon, but he does have a lot of the qualities that she likes in a man, and she does enjoy spending time with him. So she definitely at least sees herself continuing the friendship. But I also feel like she could end up liking him because a lot of times you don't have to be physically attracted to somebody. If they're doing everything you want them to do and they're catering to your emotions and you like qualities about their personality, you could fall in love with that person. And he told Amara, you know, it even makes me miss Flo because me and her used to do stuff like that. And Amara was like, well, if she wasn't such a bitch to me, I would have probably tried to help y'all get it together. But all I could say is if you really still love her and you think that there's still love there on her end, you should fight for your relationship. Try to prove to her that you've changed and try to get her back. So we see everybody pulling up to Trina and Swerve's wedding celebration. Hot Topic is pulling up and she's like, you know, this is still a secret wedding celebration to me because Trina didn't directly invite me. I'm only here because Joy invited me. But she talking about, I'm glad I'm here because it gives me a chance to talk to Trina about the info I got on Swerve. So you still think it's a good idea to come to her wedding celebration, basically her wedding reception because she didn't have a wedding, to tell her about what you've heard about her husband that you really haven't 100% validated because you even said that the girl is his alleged baby mom. Like you don't have proof or receipts yourself. So at the celebration, Trick went up to Trina and he was like, listen, I don't really like how you did everything secretly, but that's your choice. I respect your privacy and I wish you the best. I hope that your marriage is more successful than mine was to Joy. And Trina was like, yeah, well, you know, you was doing too much and that's why you and Joy's situation fell apart. But thank you. Swerve got up there to give a speech. I don't know why, because he didn't have shit to say. He got up there stumbling over his words, mumbling, talking about, I'm not really good with speaking. Then started trying to say little one-liners. Oh, Trina lights up my sky, this, that, and the third. Like, go sit the fuck down. So the whole time they talking and giving their speech, Hot Topic is in the audience making little snide remarks, making little sounds, snickering and shit. And Trina was like, you know, I'm sorry that you guys found out on the internet, but I wanted to throw this dinner so that y'all can know y'all are the people who really matter to me. Y'all are my friends and family. Y'all the people who I plan to be here for the future, the anniversaries, and when we have kids. So that Hot Topic was in her confessional. Like, if that rumor is true about what they saying about his alleged baby mama right now, I don't think Trina want to have a kid by Swerve. Like, she might want to rethink that. So then we see Trina in her confessional and she's like, I see Hot Topic is here and I haven't forgotten how Bobby told me she might have been the one who leaked my marriage certificate because she has a T page. So after Trina goes around the party and gives literally everybody else a hug, she goes up to Hot Topic and is like, I'm a little upset with you. And Hot Topic was like, I feel like you've been shady. And Trina was like, yeah, and I feel like you've been nosy. And she basically told Hot Topic, well, this ain't the time, but just know I'm not done with you yet. So she went and walked away. So I guess the next time Trina sees Hot Topic, when it's not her own event, she's planning to get in that ass. So Marlon is going to see Flo. He has roses and like a card. And he's basically saying, I just want to keep trying to go and fight for my relationship and let her know I want to be with her. So when he opened it, I thought it was a card, but it was actually a picture of them from a long time ago that he got framed, that he bought with the flowers. So basically just trying to remind her of the good times. And Flo was like, yeah, well, you know, that's a nice picture, but that was a long time ago. So Flo was like, yeah, we was happy back then until you messed everything up. And he was like, well, I'm trying to remind you of the good times and you still bringing up the bad times. But the good times was 20 years ago, 25 years ago in that picture. The bad times was on the show in the last 5 years. And Flo was like, at the end of the day, I could forgive you, but I'll never forget. And I don't think you'll ever change. He tried to turn it on her and was like, you was just in a whole relationship with a girl and I already forgave and forgot that. And she was like, well, you got it messed up because I'm not looking for your forgiveness. You cheated. We separated. We just never got a divorce. So I was single. You should be happy I wasn't dealing with another man and I was dealing with a woman. Like, I did what I did because I felt like it. I'm not looking for your forgiveness or permission about that. Because it would have never happened if you didn't do what you did behind my back. Which was worse because it was with her sister, Gael, along with other people. And he basically was like, listen, I don't know what else to do. You know, I'm doing everything for you. I'm cooking for the kids. I'm cleaning the house. I'm always at the house. I'm always trying to spend time with you. And it just seems like no matter what I do, you're not going to forgive me. And she was like, yeah, this is over. Like, you was unfaithful the whole time we was together. I'm looking for real love and loyalty now. And I don't think you could give me those things. And I'm not willing to try again to see. So Flo takes the picture, drops it on the floor and steps on it, breaks the glass, breaks the whole frame and everything. And tells him it's done. It's gone. Move on. Forget it. Like, we're never getting back together. She said that picture was back when we were happy. That's not where we are now. You done messed up. You were unfaithful the whole marriage. You have a child outside of this marriage. You slept with my sister. You brought so many women to our places of business. And you think that you bringing this picture and a couple of flowers is going to change something. And she tells him, you done messed me up so bad. I don't even know if I could love someone after you. And you just keep breaking my heart. And you know what? It's time that I really go ahead and finalize this divorce. So Estelita is working on this lash line foreign and she's doing a photo shoot, but she's also invited Kiki, Zoe's dancer friend, who was being very messy at the bridal event that they had for her to try on the dresses, you know, bringing up how Zoe's bisexual and there's a girl who she should be talking to instead of Kelvin. So I guess Estelita was like, you know what? I'm going to invite her on the side. I'm not even going to tell Zoe and I'm going to check her because she didn't want to check her at the event and ruin the event. So Estelita sat Kiki down and she was like, girl, just explain to me what's going on because I didn't really understand that comment you made when we were at Zoe's bridal event. It kind of just threw me off. So she was like, are you trying to say that Zoe told you she was messing around with a girl or messing around with somebody? And Kiki was like, well, I wouldn't say that for no reason. Like, I didn't just pull it out of my ass. So then Kiki tells Zoe, I've been cut off and I'm okay with being cut off. So you're one episode in and you just lost your friend and this is your attitude. I'm okay with being cut off. This girl is a clout chaser and she probably just wanted to get on the show. Like, I feel like she used Zoe. She was like, okay, I'm going to be her dancer, but I'm going to also try to get in and be her friend so I could start being with her on the show. And then I'm going to be messy and start putting her business out so that I could stay on the show. Because now her and Zoe going to have beef and she's already been introduced to the show. So they'll keep bringing her back. And Estelita was like, but do you really think that was the right time to put that out? And Kiki said, well, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm so happy for you. You look so cute. This is great. When I know that that's not really how she feel. And I'm not going to pretend like everybody else was doing, because y'all all know that her and Kelvin relationship is not in the best place. And she's not happy. But Estelita was like, if that's how you felt, then you should have just basically said, girl, I'm not coming to the bridal shower because I don't support you and Kelvin's relationship. Estelita was like, you know, if me and you was friends and I told you I'm effing with somebody on the side, that's supposed to stay between me and you. You don't get in front of a group of other people who, even if they are my friends, you don't know if I'm telling them the same amount of stuff I'm telling you. And you put that out in front of everybody. Like, that's crazy. And that's not a friend. So Estelita was like, girl, I just feel like that was the wrong place, wrong time. And it just made me feel like I can't trust you. She said, you know, Zoe's my friend, but I don't care who she's with as long as she's happy. And I just feel like it was really funny that you did that. Kiki says, girl, get back to your shoot. Like, get back to your photo shoot. Like, dismissing her. Like, I'm done with this conversation. Estelita said, what? This is my shoot. You don't tell me when to get back to work. So Estelita said, I'm a boss, and picked up Kiki's purse and was like, yeah, $20. And Kiki was like, $20? And Estelita was like, yeah, you need to get your raggedy pussy ass out of here. So the security started pushing Kiki out and she was like, yeah, you don't want to fight though. You don't want to fight though. And Estelita was like, girl, bye. So they'll see each other again probably, and that'll be another beef. So Kiki has definitely found her way into this season. So now we see Marcus attempting to meet up with Shay and Fabo to mediate their relationship and try to help them through some of their issues. So they start talking, and of course, Fabo, in my opinion, wasn't really taking no accountability. And Shay was just sounding like a broken record about his cheating and stuff. So Shay basically said that when Fabo was in Milwaukee, he had whatever he had going on. And when they decided to take their relationship serious and he decided to move to Miami, she told him, leave all your baggage in Milwaukee. I don't want to hear about no females. I don't want to hear about nothing you had going on back then. If you come out here for us to be serious and get into a relationship, it's going to be a clean slate and a fresh start. He agreed. But she said from day one when he moved to Miami, there was different issues with different women. So Marcus was asking who she was hearing this from, and she was like, I've seen it. Like, it's on social media. He's talking to other girls. We even had Zoe's sister recently come up and reveal that they were talking and having some type of cyber relationship. So he's being very dismissive, saying that everything Shay is saying is irrelevant. He never saw this girl in person or any of the other girls that she's saying he was talking to on social media. And Shay was like, do you think it makes it any better because you didn't actually sleep with these people or see them in person? You still was cheating. You was talking to them, flirting, talking about meeting up with them and doing sexual things and dates and stuff like that. You were cheating. It doesn't make it any better. Fabo feels like the main issue in their relationship is Shay's fear of his ex. He said that he feels like anytime he goes out the house, Shay feels like he's going to go mess with his ex. Anytime he goes back home to Milwaukee where his ex lives, she's worried about that. And I know y'all have heard the rumors about how he has a wife out in Milwaukee and he bought Shay a car, but the car was in the wife's name. Like, it's been a lot of rumors about this other woman that Fabo has in Milwaukee for years. So Fabo said that he was with the person in Milwaukee for 6 years. And then they also showed a clip from Tasha K in 2023 talking on her YouTube where she was basically saying how Fabo has another family in Milwaukee. So I guess he might have a child with this woman as well. And he said he ended up stepping out on that woman in Milwaukee and Shay ended up getting pregnant. So Shay was basically the side chick, but didn't know she was the side chick because she apparently didn't know about this other woman, according to both of them. So yeah, that relationship was never going to work because it's like, girl, you wasn't willingly a side chick, but you was a side chick. So you already got that resentment in your mind. And then now that you are the girlfriend or the main chick, you probably worried about if it's side chicks out there who might not even know about you. But it's honestly hard for it to be a side chick that don't know about them because now they on this show. But let's be real. A lot of people stopped watching Love and Hip Hop, and I feel like Love and Hip Hop Miami is the least watched one. And the producers asked Fabo about the car that he got Shay and if it was in his ex's name. He didn't answer the question. He started laughing and said, oh, you really want me to get killed? So it sounds like the car is probably in the ex's name. So Shay started naming names and was like, who's Shawana? Who's Katie? Who's Annabelle? Like all the girls that I guess he be talking to on his phone. And she was like, you swore on your kids that you wasn't talking to nobody. And then I found all that stuff in your phone. So you lied on your kids. But she was like, it's no surprise because I already know he don't give a F about his kids. And he was like, it's two sides to every story. So Shay got up and went to get her phone because she was like, he'll keep lying until the stuff is right in his face. Shay was like, in the messages, he's telling multiple women that our relationship is fake and it's only for TV. In the past year, I found out about 2 additional kids that he's had that are 16 years old. He has 2 sons. And she said this whole time he's been telling me he wants me to have his first son. So then in his confessional, Fabo says, for the last 14 months, I've been telling you what I wanted to do. I've been telling Shay that I want to go back to Milwaukee, and she's been pursuing me to stay. So is he just saying he want to go back to Milwaukee because that's where he's from and he just want to go back to his hometown? Or are you saying you want to go back to your ex-wife, ex-fiance, baby mom, whatever you got going on out there? And he was like, I stayed because Shay says she wants a family, she wants more kids, and I do feel like she wants me here for the show because we look good together, and basically that's her storyline. So Marcus said, okay, it's been a lot of back and forth. Do you want to work on this relationship or not, Shay? And she said, no, he's dead to me. So after she said all of that, Marcus asked Fabo, like, where are you in this? He said, okay, well, she's done. I'm done too. Very nonchalant, very not caring. So Marcus was like, okay, so then the only thing that matters is us trying to figure out how y'all going to co-parent for y'all baby. And Shay said, what do you mean? And Marcus was like, well, y'all have a long journey ahead as co-parents regardless. And she said, no, we don't. I'm the only one who takes care of our daughter. He doesn't do anything for her. Marcus was like, okay, but I still would hope that she could have a healthy relationship with her father. And Shay said she'll have a healthy relationship with the father that I find for her because it ain't going to be him because he's a deadbeat. And then Fabian was telling Marcus, I'll guarantee you I'll never see my daughter after this. And Marcus was like, what you mean? Like, you saying you gonna step out or you saying she's not gonna let you see your daughter? And he was basically saying that he feel like Shay is not gonna let him see the daughter after that. And it kind of sound like that because you saying she'll have a relationship with the father that you find for her is crazy. Like, yeah, if you meet somebody that you actually end up being with, then yeah, I mean, that'll be like her stepfather or somebody that she has a relationship with separately. But if her father's still willing to be in her life, I think that you should still allow him that opportunity and allow your daughter that opportunity. And Shay said, I know Fabo, and all he's going to do is find another person to leech off of, and my daughter's not going to be around that. Okay, so now we see everybody at Big D's party. The twins and the son are sitting together, and the one that's messing with him, they're kind of being a little obvious, and the other twin is like, girl, y'all making it hot. And Trick is right there. And Hot Topic came, and she was like, just because I wasn't able to tell Trina the other day at her party about what's going on with Swerve doesn't mean I'm not going to tell her tonight. Tonight, I'm going to let it rip. So Trina, Swerve, and Joy are sitting down, and they see Hot Topic coming their way. And Trina was like, y'all want to see some shit? Watch this. So when Hot Topic sat down, she was like, last time when I saw you, you had a bone to pick with me, and I got a bone to pick with you. So let's talk. So Hot Topic was like, I feel like you've been distant from me ever since you got with Swerve. He's been keeping you away from me and everybody else. Other people felt that way too. And I just feel like he wants to isolate you from everybody. Me and you were way closer before he came around. And I just feel like I'm being treated like an outsider lately. And Hot Topic was like, what did I do to you? And Trina said, well, you know what you did. Bobby was actually the one who told me that you the one who leaked the marriage certificates to the blogs. Now, Trina, you dragged it because he didn't 100% say that she did it. He said it's a possibility because she got a blog and a T page, which was messy, and he shouldn't have even said that. But he definitely didn't 100% tell you that it was definitely Hot Topic. So Hot Topic was like, be fucking for real. You know Bobby is messy, and I'm going to address him another day because he's not here. And Trina was like, Bobby also said that because you feel like Swerve is keeping me away from everybody, you decided to dig up a bunch of information on him. So let's hear the information. What did you find out? So Hot Topic was like, listen, Swerve, I reached out to your baby mom. And he was like, don't come at me no more like that. We better than that. I guess saying because they knew each other since high school. So Trina told Swerve, hold on, let me handle this because that's his alleged baby mama, first of all. Then Hot Topic was like, did he track you down at the hot dog stand? Trina was like, Swerve don't even eat hot dogs. So Trina was like, what's next? And Hot Topic was like, well, she said it's your baby and that she found out 2 years ago talking to Swerve. And Trina was like, I don't care if it was 2 years ago. He's mine now. He's my husband. What does that have to do with the fact that he might have kids out there that he had before you? And if he does, he needs to take care of them. That has nothing to do with you being his wife now, Trina. So wake the fuck up. See, this that pick me shit that she be doing that I was talking about. And Hot Topic was like, she wants a DNA test and she wants to talk to you, Trina. Trina says she could never tell her to suck a D. My attorney is going to chew her up and spit her out like the dog that she is. And he's sitting over there laughing. Just more pick me shit, not women empowerment, not a girl's girl, and definitely not hear from others. So in her confessional, Trina says she's aware of this delusional woman, but it doesn't matter because he's her husband now. Trina really sounds a mess. And she's too old to be sounding and acting like this. So Trina basically told Hot Topic, ho, move along. And Hot Topic got up and walked away because, you know, they bow down to Trina out there. Let Trina talk to them any type of way because Trina could have got slapped. Or I would have just stayed sitting there. You're not going to tell me to move along. You could get the fuck up and move along, bitch. So the episode ends there. Next week on episode 6, we see Amara's baby father meeting up with Flo's sister Gael. They messing around. We also see Zoe getting into it with Kiki. And we see Flo finding out about Amara and Marlon hanging out. So I'll see y'all next week for episode 6 of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. Bye.